Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate it. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell button to make sure you get the notifications. Well, to try to make sure you get the notifications, because sometimes even those who want to receive the notifications and would swear that they hit all those buttons still don't. And that's a situation that I have with YouTube, unfortunately. But I do thank you in advance for going ahead and going through all the trouble that you do. I appreciate it. So, welcome everybody. Aries, this is your bi-weekly reading through the period of October or through October 20th. And you are last, but certainly not least. Not in the least are you least. This is the most, this spread is most reflective of a sign being empowered, being in their full power, that we've seen, or that I've seen, of all 12 of the signs. A lot of you, I think, may be dealing with a fellow fire sign. And I'm going to say Sagittarius and then Leo in that order. Some of you may be dealing with an air sign. Gemini, Libra, around the same level, and then Aquarius third. Earth sign, I'm going to say Taurus first, and then perhaps Virgo or Capricorn. Yeah. I mean, maybe some of you are dealing with a water sign, maybe a Scorpio. Other than that, I don't think there's any water going on right now here. I say maybe a Scorpio, because sometimes a Scorpio can be, for me, also represented by the King of Wands, and your overall energy here is your energy. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor, which represents the planet Mars, ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio. Yeah, here's the King of Wands in your position that most directly represents you too. So this is what I mean about you guys being fully empowered. There's a bunch of fire energy here, and your cards are upright for the most part, and I think you guys have it together in a big way. But yeah, there's always a but. So, but there is also healing, and that may be could be due to a couple of things. Well, first of all, when I picked up this Golden Memories card, I don't even remember why I picked it up now, to be honest with you, but it is about needing to let some stuff burn. And it can be a relationship, it can be a situation, but I'll be honest, a lot of times it's more often than not like negative emotions and negative cords of attachment. So not necessarily any one relationship or another, or any one situation or another, but over time, these sort of negative emotions that we build up, maybe beginning from our past, even when we're children, or some sort of traumatic event maybe that we experience, unfortunately, then we hold on to these things and we try to carry them into each relationship that we go into, throughout our lives. And eventually it all catches up. It all builds up. You bring crap from your old relationship into your new one, you're going to have crap in your new one. And so finally we get so weighed down by all this shit, the negative emotions. That's stuff like pride and ego and fear, regret, resentment, guilt, the inability to forgive. All of these things, we're holding on to them, and eventually we're just so weighed down that we can't even move anymore, and we're stuck. That's how we get stuck. So when Golden Memories comes up, for me, it's all about taking the lessons and taking the positive memories with you forward. Those are light. And leaving all the heavy baggage and shit to burn. Drop it like a hot rock, I say. And just set it ablaze. Now, it is attached to a lot of hurt. I can tell, because when I picked up the Golden Memories card, right behind it is sorrow, also upright. But, I think that perhaps the reason the universe had me go in reverse and actually take a few breaks and take so long before I got to your reading is because now we are just about upon the Aries full moon. Today, the day on which I'm doing this reading, is Friday the 11th. Mercury actually entered shadow in Scorpio today. It's about to be retrograde at the end of the month, but essentially it's kind of started, right? When it moves into shadow, it's like preparing to go full on retrograde. But tomorrow, Saturday the 12th, the moon begins to move into your sign. And right behind this sorrow is Goddess. And you see, she's basically like the goddess of the moon. For me, she's all about surrender and vulnerability. Well, for the feminine nude body, automatically for me, when I see that, I say surrender. And when I see the moon separately too, when I say surrender, feminine energy of surrender. So together, certainly, they're all about being at our most vulnerable and just letting go. Now that can be letting go of sorrow and other negative emotions and cords of attachment from the past. That can be letting go in general and sort of releasing our expectations and allowing our life to be more organic and to just happen and to be, balanced and natural and equitable and fair. When we build up expectancy also, we limit the universe in what it will do for us. We sort of block our own blessings. So there's a need to certainly let this kind of energy go. And we have it here. To allow for healing from head to toe. And I think that's the fact that Chiron, the wounded healer, is also located in your sign. So while you guys are empowered, you're also in need of healing. But I think that the fact that you're strengthened, you're in control, you've taken control back in some cases, from some, on some occasions, at least some of you had relinquished it to other people, maybe in different types of relationships, and you've taken it back, whether it's at work, and now you're the boss now, you're the supervisor, you're the manager, you have your own company, or it's in a relationship, you got out of something that was toxic, and somebody that was manipulating you and, maybe, moving you about by cords like a marionette, like a puppet. And you've cut those cords and, you're beginning to try to heal from that. The thing about Chiron and Aries, because that's actually my natal placement, is it's a we fall down, but we get up kind of people. You don't spend much time wallowing in the hurt. And in consideration of an Aries personality, particularly those traits that may be considered negative, under normal circumstances, you may not allow yourself to recover at all from those times that you fall. But what else is going on for you guys right now is that your ruling planet, Mars, entered Libra last week. Now Libra is ruled by Venus, Mars's counterpart, Mars's divine feminine, so to speak. It's his weakest placement. When Mars is in Libra, he is calm. He is loving. He is still fiery. But it's in a healthier, let's roast marshmallows kind of way, right? Or let's sit by our fireplace and get nice and cozy and cuddle kind of way, as opposed to, the forest is burning and it's an angry sort of fire. He's more even keeled right now. And so I think you guys are as well. And that's allowing you to be a lot more focused and to actually use all of your wonderful positive traits, because you've got some really great ones too. So some negative things, we'll start from that. Like, you want the good news first, you want the bad news first. We'll start with the bad news. We'll start with some negative things about Aries, or so it's said. Can be like, you guys, you are again ruled by the planet of action and aggression. And sometimes you guys can be particularly aggressive and known, to even have like outbursts of angry outbursts, and maybe need some anger management. You can be attention seeking, but I think that's a fire sign trait in general. And that, you guys don't even take the gold in that one. I'd give that to Leo. And, I'm a Leo rising myself, but, you got to keep it 100. The truth is the truth. Leos are definitely attention seeking. But you guys have some also as part of your negative traits. People attribute selfishness to the sign of Aries when it's, in a negative light, and impatience. But again, that's a Gemini thing also. So, no judgment from me on any of these. Impatience, impulsive behavior, and that's like us also. So all of that is dialed back right now. And your more positive traits are really shining through, like your super confidence. And that's probably from Mars's, again, he's the planet of action and aggression, but also from its masculinity, I'd say. It's just this, I'm the boss, I'm the leader, sort of regalia about you guys, which is beautiful. Very positive energy, creative, super creative, the sign of Aries, and very passionate about their creative outlets and projects. So those things right now, I think, are strengthened for you, and you should really take advantage of them. All right, so now let me explain kind of what I've got set up here for you. I'm going to put or try to attach your last reading to this one, for those of you who didn't see it. But this is the placement that most directly reflects your energy. And again, it is in fact your energy. It's the King of Wands upright. This is Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, maybe Scorpio, or, someone likened to the traits and attributes of a fire sign, maybe with some strong fire somewhere else in their chart, if they're not, an Aries or other fire sign sun. He is super passionate and confident, and he's a leader. He's a boss. When you look at him from the perspective of being the emperor, you may also say, he's some sort of authority. In addition to that, or maybe a father or father figure. I see the emperor as a married man often, or a divorcee, a widower, someone with children, someone in charge, someone that can lead a group, a flock. In the position, sort of indirectly yours, so it could be your energy, or that of, friends, family, people at your office. It's a surrounding energy. Major Arcana card 1, the Magician upright. So in addition to you already being in your full element, you've got all the tools that you could possibly need to manifest whatever it is you are attempting to manifest. In your work and finances placement, you have Pentacles, coins, money. Upright, the Knight of Pentacles. This is a good sign in terms of finances, that money is on its way. And it can come in any kind of way. It can be maybe some family inheritance, because one of your other cards here is the Ten of Water. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, and you have trustworthy relationships. This is about being so emotionally fulfilled. You're not thinking about money or stuff, maybe because you have it already. Like, you have everything you want and need, at least in that moment when you are feeling the energy of the Ten of Water. And when I picked it up, the Queen of Earth, it's upside down, but it's right behind it. And then the Ten of Earth is up right behind it. A feminine or female or female earth sign. Again, Taurus first, I'm going to say. Virgo or Capricorn may have gifted you something, even left you something, like you inherited. Maybe they passed away, they left you something. Or this could be representative of an energy like at your job or something, to the way that you earn your money, that's helping you come into some sort of lump sum. This could be a bonus, a promotion, a raise, even, you know, it could be something that's representative of finances. You know, maybe it's not liquid, but I'm definitely tying it in with this Knight of Pentacles, which again can be, it's, as it relates to finances, it's about money that's coming to you. If it hasn't already this week, it is coming soon. So I'm going to say probably within the next 2 weeks, despite the fact that Mercury has entered shadow and could cause delays. And it may be a lump sum like that, or the equivalent of a lump sum, or some sort of family asset even, you know, something involving a home or something maybe coming to you. As it relates to work, you're going to want to be earth sign like. And what I mean by earth sign like is they are planners. They are methodical people. They are slow and steady wins the race. You know, very methodical, very calculated movement. We're paced. They're paced. And so they're building. And it's consistent work that ends up, you know, resulting in the big pie, right? That they have. And that's how you're going to want to be with your work. Like very traditional and committed, and that strong work ethic of an earth sign. And again, maybe particularly the sign of Taurus, because I've just been feeling it. Maybe because Taurus is so close to you guys. Maybe that's why I'm feeling it here. I just read for Taurus last, because again, I went in like backwards order. But they're right after you, and some of you may even be Aries, Taurus, Cuspian. So that may be it too, why I'm feeling Taurus so strongly. But there could be a Taurus maybe at your office, or other earth sign at your office, that helps to facilitate growth. Maybe that is who is awarding you again with a promotion, a raise, you know, transfer, some sort of recognition where everybody's like, yes, you did it. You know, you're getting honored and recognized. An opportunity maybe to learn a new trade in the office, to apprentice with somebody, earn a new certification, or learn some sort of new vocation or trade or something, is what's coming with this Pentacles. But again, you're going to want to be very traditional. It's not the time to like try to, let's spice things up at the office and let me turn things upside down and do everything different. It's not the time to do that at all. Like, not at all. Also, if you're seeking employment, if you're looking for a job, similarly, you're going to want to play up your dependability. Okay, make sure you get across to the interviewer that you are the type of person on which they can depend. You are the type of person that can be put in a supervisory role. You are the type of person that you know, is able to work with other people and be a team player as well. You want to get that across. But a job will be coming to you soon as well, I feel, with this energy. In your placement of love, we have Major Arcana card Justice in reverse. Again, Justice represents the planet Venus, ruler and goddess of all abundance, of love. She's also the ruler of Taurus. That may be another reason why I've been feeling a lot of strong Taurus. You know, this is super Venus, this corner right here. 1, 2, 3 signs that she rules. Gemini, Libra, Taurus. So she's really strong in your reading too. But what I was wanting to say about Justice in reverse as it relates to love is that you may be feeling that you've been treated unfairly in a relationship, in a romantic relationship. And it's important to admit, and maybe this goes to the healing too, this could be tied to the Chiron stuff. It's important to admit that these things sort of don't happen on their own or isolated or in a vacuum, as it were. That we have responsibility too. Like we have some sort of, we made some sort of, we contributed in some way to whatever our circumstances are, you know, wonderful or difficult. Like in both ways, we contribute. When you're in a relationship, it's, you know, 50-50, or some people say even 100-100. So we're giving too. If something went wrong, how did we, you know, where did we play a role, or what role did we play in whatever went wrong in the way that we're requiring to be treated? If you weren't treated the way that you want to be treated, unless you were just, you know, all out, like abused, which is different, a narcissist or something like that, you know, why did you allow that? Why did you allow yourself to not be treated how you wanted to be treated? And in what way did you contribute to the fact that maybe the person thought it was okay to treat you how they were? So those are things we have to consider when justice is in reverse. And that may be, again, something that needs to go toward your need to surrender, heal, let go of some maybe past situations. Maybe these are things that are coming up. You allow certain things. We repeat lessons until they're truly learned and we're cleansed of them. So that can be something too. If you are interested in finding a relationship, then similarly we have to like consider where not only what we're looking for, but what we are willing to give, what role we are willing to play. And we definitely got to be careful about being too sort of willing, eager to change ourselves in order to fit into a relationship. That's what you have to avoid when you see justice in reverse. Basically, we may be, and perhaps because of hurt, past hurt, and stuff that we need to let burn, and our need to surrender, we may be blocking our own blessings and standing in our own way, is what I was trying to get out. With the King of Wands crossing the justice in reverse, or in our love and relationship placement here, this may be the masculine's energy even more so than the feminine, but of course it's not gender specific, it's not sexuality specific, it's not archetype specific. It can be either one, male or female, gay, straight, whatever. Feminine, masculine. This might be somebody who is super, again, passionate, protective. Remember, he's like an authority. He's like a boss. And if it is where it is like a masculine and a male, like, you know, like a real, like a man's man, as they used to say, type of guy. But as much as he genuinely cares for us, some of you may be dealing with another Aries too, which is interesting. As much as he genuinely cares for us, he may be, particularly with the with the Knight of Pentacles sitting right here underneath him and next to our Justice in reverse, more focused on work than he is on us right now. And that may be leading us to be confused. But you see, he's got this magician thing going, crossing his work. And so he's making things happen. And some of you really becoming bosses. A lot of you taking those creative outlets, remember I said you guys are super creative, and parlaying them into some sort of business of your own, where you physically make something. I don't know, because I'm not one of these people, but you make something. You know, like people make candles and soap. A friend of mine, he's a Scorpio. He's ruled by Mars too. He makes beard, like stuff. I don't know, beard treatments. Stuff, and that's the type of thing I'm sensing here. A bunch of you make stuff, and you can parlay that into some of a business, and you're beginning to do that over the next couple of weeks. You may need to read up, to study, to read some books. And that could be the opportunity that you get. Remember I said maybe it's to learn a vocation or learn a new trade or something. That could be the opportunity that you get from the Queen of Pentacles that was under here. But you could read books, go to seminars, and watch YouTube and, hone your craft. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. But I'm not just feeling spiritually based books. I'm feeling, like I said, you're studying your craft. You're trying to perfect it. Also, I just heard like throw the book at them. And I don't think it means legal. I think that they're like telling me to apply the book to all of these different things. Like, so for the Knight of Pentacles, for example, it could be the checkbook. Maybe you, again, dealing with your finances, getting things in order. The Knight of Wands, you may be passionately, again, trying to dive into some sort of book and to study, or even writing down your own things. Magician, he's not really about like illusion. It's called the Magician, but it's not in a sense of like illusion and magic tricks and stuff. But you could be, sort of working your magic and spells, like, something from a book, and maybe even journaling. And with regard to your love life and justice, I think some people are closing a chapter. You're closing the book. For some of you, this justice is if it's not actually divorce through which you're going, that maybe becomes final over the next 2 weeks, then it's, it's sort of a divorce. Like if it's only a divorce if you're legally married, right? But for some of you, you're not legally married, but you've been in these relationships that you're severing. So it's still kind of like a divorce from that. Or even a divorce, again, from your previous work so that you can start your own business. A divorce maybe from some of the people, places, and things with which you used to surround yourself because you're making new stuff happen for yourself now. But it's all very positive. I'm not getting anything negative from that. And further to that, so I already told you about the golden memories and the fact that you need to cut the negative cords of attachment. And that may include, again, severing some relationships and or, ceasing to even visit some locales. Like sometimes the places that we go, that we frequent or whatever, have sort of a bad influence on us. So it's not just people, it's places and things with which we surround ourselves that we're going to want to change maybe. So we saw that with the golden memories. That may be what we need to let go. And maybe that's why that we're feeling sorrow too. Because sometimes, there's like mixed feelings about these things. Even when a marriage is ending, you might be happy because the relationship didn't work out, but at the same time you're sad because the relationship didn't work out. Like for the same reason you're happy, you're sad. So you may be going through some of that with some of those things that you have to sever and some of the things you're leaving alone. But for the most part, again, this spread for me is super positive. Your overall energy from your romance oracle is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So I think there's a new person that you're wanting to, check out, see what's up. For those, of course, who are single, and also those who are, like I said, I feel people separating, ending relationships, and I think there's somebody else that, who's about whom you're truly passionate. So it's like about getting rid of this fake stuff and working on it. Like give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Why? Because this one is true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. And in some cases where we had that sorrow and those breakups and stuff, we're healing relationships. Reconciliation is coming. Someone from your past is returning to your life. I showed you books, the overall energy here of the angel therapy cards, and of what I call my hashtag creepy deck. It is blonde female, and this is more fiery energy too, right? She's called blonde female. I don't know why. She's obviously a redhead. So this is like my divine feminine card in this deck. It's very, sort of modern day, more youthful Queen of Wands to me. And also up right behind her is more of your energy. It is dating queen. So again, some of you may be leaving relationships, or maybe you're not in a relationship. Again, you're single and you're ready to start dating and looking for, that true love, that person with whom you genuinely are going to fit without forcing anything, because you don't force with the Libra in reverse. Justice rather in reverse, which represents the sign of Libra. You don't force a relationship with that. You make sure that you're ready to give what you're willing to give, and that you're clear on what it is you require from a relationship. And you know that it's give and take. It's balance, that energy of Libra that's necessary for a relationship to work. So maybe you're checking out new suitors, and you've got people that are interested in you. This woman has 3. So this card is like very 3 of Wands to me. The 3 of Wands is also about stuff that's on the horizon. It's like very soon we are going to begin to manifest what we want. When you start with 1, so the energy of the magician is major arcana card 1. This is the thought. This is the idea. This is the words we're speaking over ourselves. This is what I want to manifest. And then here comes 2. And it's a very spiritual thing. The high priestess is major arcana card 2, right? So that's where I'm focusing on. I'm using my psychic abilities, my awareness. I'm drawing this thing to me. I'm thinking, and I have faith. And that's what 2s represent. That's going to help to bring this stuff toward me. When we get up to the 3 of Wands, I can begin to see it taking shape on the horizon, right? It's beginning to take form, and I can see it and feel it in a tangible way. And I know I'm just this much away from a 4 of Wands, which is where something is on a sturdy foundation, and I have successfully manifested what I want. So that's what this dating queen represents for me too. But also behind that is travel. This is here comes the water energy. This is very chariot sort of card for me, which represents the sign of Cancer, and is about movement. And sometimes for me, revisiting, especially when I'm thinking about things like retrograde. Again, Chiron is retrograde in your sign. Mercury will be retrograde shortly. And that may affect you. And that may cause you to revisit situations and relationships. Mercury has a way of like bringing situations back from our past, bringing our exes back, and maybe that's what's spawning the reconciliation as well. I normally wouldn't pick up the next card, but I do want to show you what it is because it's another 3, and it is triangle. Some of us may have some sort of choice to make too. Although again, I think for the most part, those of us who did, the choice has been made, and we're severing an existing relationship, or we've recently severed a relationship, or maybe even getting a divorce that may become final over the next couple of weeks, and there's a new person that we've chosen or that we plan to pursue. Further to that, your overall energy from the Abundance Oracle is visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings, and that is what you will experience. Yep. Further to that, for the masculine, it is work. So like I said, I felt before with the King of Wands sitting above the Knight of Pentacles that the masculine might be more focused on work, even though he's genuinely interested in someone. Which may also, could, like I said, it could be any of those signs, but it may even be another fire sign, because I'm like, I don't know. Or an earth sign. This work card tends to represent earth energy for me, and most specifically the sign of Capricorn. So maybe they're entering, we got a bunch of characters already here. Maybe they're joining the party too. But I think it's showing up most prevalent for the masculine because, again, a lot of them are more focused on work than anything else, although they do have some genuine romantic feelings also going on. And maybe it's like a cover-up. Like maybe in part, at least, even if it's subconscious, they're focusing on the work so that they don't have to dive, head first into love, because there has been hurt and there is a need for healing and surrender, and for them to draw on their feminine energy and soften up that Mars a little bit. And so maybe they don't want to go there, but I think they're being pushed there. feminine, union. So you got true love, you got union here. And I did, like I said, I do feel balance. And that's another thing that's associated with justice as it relates to love. Like trying, like organically finding a match. Someone with whom we can mesh without forcing it. And you definitely don't want to force relationships with these other cards here too. Now, what's interesting though, is that that person that you're falling for may be older than you, or you may be the older one and they may be younger, or they may be different in that like you're super organized and neat and stuff, and like maybe they're sloppy and messy, you know, like an odd couple in the sense. There used to be a show called The Odd Couple, and there was these two male roommates, and one of them was like a total neat freak, and the other one was like a slob, you know. But they had a great friendship. I don't think they were gay or anything. I mean, it doesn't matter. But I think it was just a friendship. But it can apply to romantic relationships too, where you're just, you know, completely different in terms of that, but you're finding love somehow nonetheless. Everything else balances out and works out. From the angel therapy cards to the masculine, crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. Crystal healing is an awesome thing. I adore crystals. I got a couple here, you know, surrounding me right now. This is carnelian. This is polished rainbow obsidian. This is also rainbow obsidian, but with some snow obsidian in it, like these specks. This is not paint that I spilled on it. This is natural in the stone as well. It's snow obsidian mixed with rainbow obsidian. So you may want to get some quartz, some, yeah, like I said, I like carnelian. I love obsidian. I love onyx. But there's all different kinds of wonderful stones that you may want to work with. I really like cat's eye from men. I don't know, there's so many I can't even think right now. And I have 2 thick books like this of crystals. Maybe that's the kind of book you want to get. Some of you may want to get a book that's connected to crystals, and you can look up which ones heal different areas and use the ones that are appropriate for you. From your romance oracle, masculine, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You know what the red flags are? The King of Wands upright. So that's telling you to go for it, to pursue your passions. It's telling you you're in your full glory, your energy. You are totally empowered. The Magician, he's here in this, you know, he's clad in this long red robe. And this is about you being empowered and being able to manifest any and everything you desire and need. Here's some more red flag. This guy's also covered in red. It's very regal. Remember I said you guys have a certain regalia about you? I think that that's coming through even in the cards that are here for you. What's this? This is like a red clay road behind it too. Everything is red. It's all positive. There's no negative red flags. And, you know, the Justice in reverse, if any of them are going to be considered negative, this would be the most. And it's only because to the extent of you have to, you know, work on healing and balance. But that's all. That's not a negative thing. That's a positive. That's improvement. That's self-preservation. And then here we have the Emperor in his, you know, very regal looking red robes as well. So there's nothing negative that is cautioning you. It's only cautioning you to not take advantage of this wonderful energy that you guys have. That's what it's warning you against. From the angel therapy cards to the feminine, just shield yourself. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. And I think also take this cord and cut away any, this sphere, and cut away any negative cords of attachment as well. From the romance oracle to the feminine, I didn't do that one before, is love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And I think that speaks to, again, this justice in reverse, and just needing to acknowledge, you know, what role we play and what we truly want, and being honest with ourselves about all those things. You got to focus on that before we, you know, move into anything else with anybody else. Wow. I talked about how we step up toward the Four of Wands. and masculine is here for you. The Four of Wands, contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. Well, for some of you, again, something may be coming through as it relates to an actual home, maybe a family home or asset even. It's going to be literally a home. For others, the Four of Fire can be about deepening of commitments, can be about marriage, maybe that union. For some, that can be very literal, engagements, actual marriages happening. Cohabitation, moving. That may be what the travel card was also about. This can be about moving, movement, whether it's literal or metaphoric. Super positive. And this is another red flag. It's like, you know, it's telling you the red flags are warning you of all the wonderful things that are coming for you or that are already surrounding you, and warning you not to miss out, you know, to take full advantage of all of that. From the Angel Tarot to the Feminine, it is Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which is actually Temperance in the traditional tarot, which represents the sign of Sagittarius. And I knew I was feeling more fire before too. And I think I said Sagittarius first was what I was feeling the strongest. Here it is. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. This is a card of healing and restoration, where you felt lost, where you felt, you know, something was missing. Temperance makes us whole, in my opinion. So this is going again toward the healing that I felt you guys needed. And then you're going to be completely unstoppable once you have that, because you're already so together here. From the Universal Love Oracle to the Masculine, here's your creativity. And look at this red angel. This is all your energy again too. Fire. Joined by some Pisces. There's these fish jumping out of the water, and the moon behind her, also representative of the sign of Pisces, and again, surrender. She's also got some air with the puffs of clouds, and this star, very strategically placed on her third eye. The star is representative of the sign of Aquarius in the tarot. But this is about you using your creativity and coming up with creative ways to bring about your own abundance. Universal Love Oracle to the Feminine. It is spiritual growth and more red. More red, more fire. This is Jupiter, right? Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion. So Jupiter also blesses you. Jupiter is actually ruler of Sagittarius. Maybe that's why I was feeling Sagittarius so strongly. So we have Jupiter blessing the feminine at least. And lastly, do the work. But you already knew you had to do that because you got this card already. It's not enough to dream or to pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. You guys are not afraid of work, and you're not afraid of action. You are ruled by the planet of action. This will be easy for you. And lastly, for the feminine, donations, tithing, and charitable work. Give joyfully to the organizations and people who spiritually support and inspire you, and know that your generosity will be returned to you many-fold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, or other resources that you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your bi-weekly reading. I will be back in 2 weeks to do another one for you. Thanks again for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you soon. Do watch your moon and rising signs to get a more full picture. And if you are dealing with somebody, interested in somebody, and you know their sign, you may want to watch theirs too to see if there's any connections there. If you need a reading from me or energy healing or any of the cool merchandise that I have, do check out the description box. Thanks. Take care.